Good evening, everyone, from the campus of Fleming Island High School, Randy Warren Stadium. This is BP, live with you for Friday Night Lights on SSB. It is senior night here this evening at The Rock. We just had the wrap-up of senior festivities, and now we're getting into the coin toss before the teams come on the field. Welcoming you again to another broadcast, our final regular season broadcast of the year. It's senior night, a pink-out night here at the stadium. And once again, I am by myself. David Wells not with us this evening. He's a bit under the weather, but the rest of the SSB crew is here tonight. This is the final of our senior night tours, as we spent the last couple of weeks bouncing around town at Orange Park and Middleburg prior to tonight. And we're happy you're with us as we move into November, and postseason football will be here before we know it. Let's take a look at this Fort White Indian team getting ready to take the field here for the first time tonight. They come in on a positive note, blasting Hilliard at home, 48-0. That's their fourth straight home victory this year, and to move them to 5-3 overall. Their star athlete, Jaden Jackson, will be the man to watch as he plays quarterback, and he's a mobile one at that. He's also lining up on special teams to return kicks, and he will pick off passes, too. More on that in just a minute. Looking at last week's game against Hilliard, Jackson was pretty much everywhere. He threw for 31 yards and a touchdown, ran for 96, scored a touchdown, intercepted 2 passes. They were pick sixes. Suffice it to say, Fleming Island may want to keep an eye on him on both sides of the ball. Not to be outdone, though, Elijah Gardner ran the ball 8 times for 88 yards and a touchdown. Jackson threw 2 passes to 3 different receivers. And defensively, the player to watch other than Jackson would be number 0, LaCosta Bird, who was in on 12 tackles and picked up 12 sacks last week against Hilliard. We will pause right now for the presentation of colors and our national anthem. You're watching Friday Night Lights on SSB. Eagle Band 1 with another wonderful performance of our national anthem. Back to business here. I was mentioning LaCosta Bird, who was in on 12 tackles, picking up 2 sacks last week against Hilliard. He will be another defensive player for the Indians that you'll need to watch out for. Before we look at Fleming Island, we invite you to follow us on social media. Find us on Facebook and X at SSBJax, and on Instagram and Threads at ssb.jax. Stay up to date on our broadcast schedule. Don't forget to subscribe to the Sunshine State Broadcasting YouTube channel as well, and click on the notification button to be alerted to our next live broadcast. Now that we're properly named here, no, you were not going to church, although I can take you there if you want. Fleming Island was on a bender as terms of winning streak. They've won 5 of their last 6 games crushing the Middleburg Broncos last week 42-6 en route to sealing the perfect district record and a playoff berth. Initial indications are that they will face Ponte Vedra in a rematch of their exciting game on September 27th that you saw live here on SSB. Tonight they look to close out the season on a high note against the Indians. Sebastian Broughton had another fantastic outing on Friday, throwing for 215 yards and 4 touchdowns, completing 82.4% of his passes. Demir Jackson in on the mix as well, providing Fleming Island with 2 touchdowns, rushing 24 times for 156 yards. On the receiving side, Trace Burney caught 4 passes for 98 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tristan Stevenson got into the mix with 2 catches for 52 yards and a touchdown. And Oliver Pachata was also Mr. Reliable with 7 catches for 54 yards. I'm going to say this over and over again tonight. Tristan Stevenson, Tristan Stevenson, Tristan Stevenson. Yeah, I messed that up last week badly. And Damiano DeSteno, a senior, I kept saying something else. My gosh, I feel so bad about that. It's been driving me nuts all week. Some major milestones, though, are at stake tonight if you're Fleming Island from the statistic point of view. So let's talk about receiving right now. Trace Burney has 979 yards receiving going into tonight's game. He needs just 21 yards to eclipse the 1,000-yard mark. Demir Jackson also nearing 1,000 yards rushing this season. He sits at 981 yards. He needs just 19 to break the barrier. Jackson's already gone over 1,000 yards all-purpose with 1125. Burney has done the same with 1,211. I'm sure they'll have no issues making those history books tonight. I'm also looking at some statistics for Fleming Island as well. Sebastian Broughton has thrown 96 touchdown passes. 4 tonight will get him over the century mark as well. So there's lots on the line tonight, not to mention the playoffs are ahead. Keys to the game brought to you by Mr. Chubby's. The key to a great pregame or postgame celebration is at Mr. Chubby's, home of the original Fleming Island Happy Hour. So Jackson's your playmaker for Fort White, but you got to distribute the ball around to keep the talented Golden Eagles on their toes. And Fleming Island doesn't have too much to play for in terms of maybe some seeding, but that's about it. So they need to go and play senior night spoiler and ruin the fun tonight. For Fleming Island, you just got to win this game. You're already in the playoffs, but nobody likes backing into the postseason, so come out on top. You need to key in on Jackson tonight, but be wary of those other skill players on the field, and there are a couple of them. Parker Sertivan will kick things off for Fleming Island, and we are underway for Friday Night Lights on SSB, and Mr. Sertivan sends that into the end zone for a touchback, and we are on the way. Fort White will start at the 20-yard line. Happy you're joining us tonight. Friday Night Lights on SSB, brought to you in part by Worldwide Automotive out there on County Road 220, and also brought to you by our friends at First Baptist Church of Orange Park. Pastor David Tarkington, who is here tonight, he is the character coach on the sidelines for the Fleming Island Golden Eagles. We appreciate their support over the years. And also brought to you in some small part by Mr. Chubby's over at Fleming Island. The whole crew out here tonight. Garrett Bindford on the camera upstairs. Aaron to my right over the distance. Courtney hanging out with me in the production booth. Caden up front doing score, though he doesn't have his headphones on right now. He should. 1st and 10 for the Indians at their own 20. Let's get started. Jaden Jackson, your quarterback. He'll hand off. And that will be an immediate stop to LaCosta Bird, who will also line up as a running back in addition to playing middle linebacker.
Pick up of about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
2nd down and 7 from the 23-yard line. Courtney's trying to tell me he's on a camera, but he's pushing buttons. We do have a third angle tonight. Jackson will give. It's into the backfield, and that is Cohen Chaffee doing what he does best. The moose is loose, and he'll get them behind the line of scrimmage. And that's where he'll plug the jug. Bring it up for 3rd down and 7.
No gain. 3rd down
Number 8, Jaden Jackson, the junior quarterback at the helm for the Indians. Coming
Followed
off a huge win from last week.
Is in Lake City on Tuesday at Quail Heights.
They'll come out with trips to the right of the formation. Jackson will get a clap and a snap. He'll take it himself. Jackson will run the ball quite a bit. He runs into the teeth of that defense, And nothing doing there for Fort White. That's a keeper and a 3-and-out for the Indians. Now, this is the situation that you don't want to be in, running the offense early, so they're going to come out and bring special teams out. Sebastian Cruz will come from his position in the secondary and stand at the 50-yard line. Trace Burney will also go back deep with him. On 4th down. First drive stalls for the Indians. They'll get a snap off and a good, nice high punt. Cruz will field that inside his own territory. He'll get a lead block from Burney. He'll come up just shy of the 40-yard line. Might have pushed the pile just across. Cruz fights for a couple of extra yards, and Fleming Island will begin in plus territory. Excellent field position for Sebastian Broughton and his offense with so much talent. Good evening to you, sir. Joey Couch, we appreciate you stopping by the live chat tonight. I've got some senior shout-outs to give tonight. We solicited some senior shout-out requests on our Instagram page, and we've got a couple of those out there for you. I'll be bringing out through the game tonight. Again, our graduating seniors at Fleming Island playing their final home game in the regular season, that is. They will get another one. We'll be waiting for tournament seedings as they come out in the next week or so. Sebastian Broughton coming out to run the offense. He gives to Jackson. Jackson will dash. He'll get 10. And Jackson will have broken the 1,000-yard rushing mark with that carry.
Jackson takes it inside the 10-yard line before it's going to be tackled.
He has done it. 4 digits and a big first down for the Golden Eagles to get things started. About 30 yards there. He only needed 18. That's it. So Demir Jackson, a 1,000-yard rusher for the Golden Eagles in the senior campaign. First down and goal for Fleming Island. Broughton will bring Jackson up to his right side, get a snap, looking, rolls to his right, trying to throw a pass. He's going to skip, and then he gets maybe a loss on the play. They're going to call it a 1-yard loss, 2nd and goal. Broughton didn't have anybody to throw to there. Well covered by Fort White in the end zone. Again, if you're just tuning in, it's only me tonight. David is under the weather. We wish him well and speedy recovery. Get back to work with us in the postseason. Line up for 2nd and goal here. Broughton will have 3 wide receivers to his left. Second and goal from the 8-yard line. He'll give to Jackson. Jackson runs it over right tackle and will approach the 5-yard line. Doesn't quite get there, about the 6. And 3rd down and goal. And this is the time where the big boys are going to have to come in and do their thing. I see Eric Gentry coming into the formation. He's going to replace Stevenson. Stevenson, the sophomore, had a really good night last week against Middleburg. A touchdown pass and a couple of great receptions. He and Oliver Bachata helped move the ball while Burney was finding the big holes, and Jackson blowing into the secondary had that dominating running attack. Broughton steps back to pass. He will throw, and that is incomplete, and a wicked hit on Trace Burney. He is down and looking for his equilibrium. He'll get up on his feet, but boy, he took a shot, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
He gets up and walks off.
So Burney looks to be okay, but boy, he did get his bell rung in the end zone. And I look at him now on the sidelines now. He doubled over real quick. Might have gotten hit straight in the gut. So Parker Servin will come on for a field goal attempt. This is a chip shot. 8:09 left to go in this first quarter. Servin going to snap. Hold is good. Kick is up. And the field goal is good. So officially with 8:07 to go in the first quarter, Fleming Island strikes first, 3-0, and they'll give it back to Fort White for their 2nd possession of the game. Again, pleasure you're joining us tonight on Friday Night Lights on SSB. BP alongside the crew tonight. A gorgeous evening in early November. Hope you had a wonderful Halloween last night. I had the opportunity to not trick or treat, but hand out candy with our good buddy Shoeless Joe Anderson. That's always a trip. I actually invited him to come join us tonight, but he is at Oakleaf for their senior night and is otherwise occupied, so he could not join us this evening.
Here on Fleming Island, 2349 Village Square Parkway.
And I'm going to dig into the Instagram DMs there and pull out some of our senior shout-outs. And although not necessarily a senior shout-out, but he did message us directly. I'm going to give one little love to number 50, Isaiah Ksenia, for hitting us up on Instagram. This is a returnable kick. And this is Jackson. Jackson will return kicks. The man does everything for Fort White. He'll get across the 30-yard line. They'll spot him right at the 31. Jaden Jackson, he does a lot for Fort White. Also want to give some love to Braden Cunningham down there at FAU. I believe they're on tonight on Friday Night Lights on the college tip. Braden wants to give some love to Kevin Reyes. He says, what a guy he is. Still got some time to get some shout-outs if you're listening tonight. If there's a senior athlete, it doesn't have to be a football player. We've celebrated the cheerleaders tonight. We've celebrated the band and JROTC, so if you want to shout out any of those seniors, send us a message on our Instagram page, and I'll read that out for you live. Jaden Jackson back at quarterback. They'll bunch up the formation a little bit, and he will play fake, step in the pocket. He's got pressure, tried to throw a screen, and that was a high grab, climbs the elevator and gets the ball across the 35-yard line.
Extended hand, caught by the tight end for a 5-yard
So giving him about 5 yards, and second down, they'll cross to the 36-yard line. First positive passing play for the Indians tonight. Come out with 3 wide, line up in a pistol formation. We'll have a tight end up there blocking. Jackson quick with a snap. He'll give into the backfield. That's Bird, and he gets thrown down. A little WWE-style David Smith in on the tackle. Another senior out there doing some work, and that's a loss on the play. Give him a loss of a yard. Third down and 5 right at the 35-yard line. Actually, sorry, third down and 6. Need to get to the 41 for a first down. Come out, looks like 3 wide. So Gavin Peterson will be the far receiver on the near side. He's matched up one-on-one coverage with Corey Allen. They'll get a snap. They're going to fake it, running a fake option pitch. Jackson will run it himself. He's got some wheels, and if you don't tackle him by the legs like they did there, he'll run on field for you. He got a first down. And that's something that they're going to have to watch very carefully tonight, is that Jaden Jackson is their key athlete. Good use of the speed option there and a fake pitch, and he runs upfield, gets enough for the first. Ball sitting now at the 43-yard line of Fort White, coming up on 7 minutes to go in this first quarter. Three wide. Fleming Island look tightening up in single coverage. They're going to hand the ball off, and that ball's going to go to Elijah Gardner. Now, he did a little bit of running last week against Hilliard. He will come in and run those typical runs. Jackson mostly running on improvisation or will run in a scramble, so he is a threat either way you look at it. Pickup of about 4 yards, just shy of midfield. They'll stay in that 3 wide formation with a tight end to assist with lead blocking. Jackson gives again, no play fake, steps back, he's got pressure, kind of throws on a heel, and that was a one-hop. Chase Donaldson was in the area. He maybe step up on that and picks it and runs with it, but harmlessly falls to the turf. It's now third down. Stops the clock with 6:15 to go in this first quarter.
Big thank you goes to Jeremiah's Italian Ice on Fleming Island for always providing us with the best frozen dessert.
Fort White will
right across the street.
Take their time here. Coming up to the huddle, they'll stay in that formation. Now they got 4 wide. Single back to the left of Jackson. And we've got some movement up front. And that's exactly what the call is. Donaldson looked like he was tightening up in man coverage. The cornerbacks were up tight and they backed off. And that movement, I guess, maybe forced somebody to wiggle, so that's going to put third down behind the sticks there for Fort White. Going to come up to third down and 11.
Third down and 11 now for Fort White.
Line it up back again. They'll stay in that 4 wide receiver formation. Tight coverage on the outside. Jackson drops back. Pressure coming around. Throws to a open receiver maybe, but he would have been open out of bounds, and that's going to be incomplete. Brings up 4th down and long, and Fort White will be content to punt in and around midfield here. Solid series for Fleming Island on defense. They've done what they need to do. Jackson has burned them just a little bit, but not enough to cause much havoc as we have a full line change here. Good pressure up front by Fleming Island as well, keeping Jackson off of his toes. Or on his toes, as it may. Cruz and Bernie will split the difference on the return. Good snap. Get that punt off, little end over end. Cruz backs up, fields that over the 30-yard line, makes a man miss. He's got a blocker, crosses the 40 to the 45-50, into Fort White territory, across the 45-yard line, and then gets slung out of bounds after an excellent return. Sebastian Cruz, we've been kind of waiting for him to do stuff like that all season long, and he has succeeded in doing so. That's going to be our officials' timeout for the mandatory water break. We're going to take it with him. 5:58 to go in this first quarter. Fleming Island's got the ball with a 3-0 lead. We'll be back after this. Friday Night Lights on SSB.
Having served Clay County for 18 years, Worldwide Automotive is bringing back the neighborhood repair facility with fair and honest pricing. It's why Worldwide Automotive's motto is car repair with care. Worldwide Automotive provides old-fashioned customer-centered service in an environment that is friendly and welcoming. Servicing domestic and European cars, Worldwide Automotive is offering $25 off to anyone who mentions this ad. And that's for any service. There's no need to go to the dealer for your 30, 60, 90, or 120-mile services. They offer same-day service and will handle your requirements for oil changes, belts, tire rotations, air conditioning, brake flushes, transmission services, and tune-ups. Come by and say hi to owners Joe and Valerie and see why they say their customers are family. Worldwide Automotive is located at 2490 County Road 220. For more information, go to worldwide-automotive.com.
Second possession for the Fleming Island Golden Eagles. Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on SSB. Broughton will swing it out to Eric Gentry, and he's got some open field to run with. He'll get about 8, maybe 9 yards on that one. Quick flare out. And Sebastian Broughton has come alive this season. This has been the senior season that we were hoping to see out of him. The Akron commit, and firmly committed to Akron, I'm told. Trying to close out his senior campaign and cross the century mark in touchdowns. He'll drop back to pass, rolls to his right. They like to do that for him. He'll fire, and that goes into the feet of Trace Burney. And now we have a penalty flag on the play.
Flag in after the play.
And I'm not sure what the infraction was. We'll have to get a better look at that. But Broughton was rolling out, had Burney, but kind of threw it to his feet. Uncharacteristic. Burney was open and likely could have run for another 5 or 10 yards. And let's get the call from the officials here.
Personal foul. Blindside block on the offense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay second down.
A blindside block penalty there. Backs him up 15. Fleming Island behind the sticks.
Penalty will put the ball back in the 49.
Fleming Island comes into tonight's game, of course, 5-3. They are the Class 5A District 3 champions with a perfect 4-0 record. But one of the things that they've struggled with this season is these non-district, sort of non-classification games when playing teams from outside of 5A. And they tend to get a little bit in their head as we've seen them throughout the season. So hopefully tonight they will use this game as a tune-up for the postseason, because they're likely to face some difficult competition and competition they've faced before. Tamir Jackson will try to march off some of those penalty yards. He gets to the original line of scrimmage. They keep fighting the pile.
Jackson,
and he makes it a second down and manageable. Again, Jackson has done what he needed to do tonight to eclipse the 1,000-yard rushing mark, which is a fabulous achievement in high school football. And especially with the authority that he's run the ball with, it's not surprising that he's run for $1,000 or more. And again, approaching 1,200 all-purpose yards that include some of his receptions and some fabulous highlight material. Second down, they're going to give it to Jackson again. Same side, runs into a couple of the defenders, fights a little more, will get enough for a first down, and that'll move the sticks. Yet again, some healthy doses of Demir Jackson and keeping Fort White backing up the entire time. Another solid first down run, so if you want to continue running the ball all night, looks like Fort White's going to let you do it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Coming up on the 4.5-minute mark to play in this first quarter. Jackson will come out. He'll get a break. The other thing you got to consider tonight is, as the game progresses, will Coach Cipoletti keep his seniors and his starters in the game? If Fleming Island jumps out pretty far ahead, or we get into a running clock situation, how long will these guys stay in the game? We've got a new running back, and there's a cut-up field. That is Trayvon High.
Tony Watkins.
Now, they're saying Tony Watkins, but I have a different name on my roster. We'll get a
Watkins will be marked at the 21
quick update on that one, but nonetheless, Demir Jackson will come back in the game after a quick spell. Again, just 3-0. Fleming Island got inside the 5-yard line, could not convert after a pretty vicious hit on Trace Burney, but he seems to be fine. He's lined up in a slot right now. And he's got Stevenson on the far side. Like Gentry and Pachado on the near sideline. He has to pick that snap up out of the dirt. Jackson splits a couple of defenders, gets 3 or 4 more yards. And that snap has been kind of dicey the past couple of weeks. I'm watching it on our delay here in front of me, and that was definitely a ground ball that he had to dig out of the turf. So now we're going to have a little bit of a switch up here, and I think we're bringing in some of the big boys. Sebastian Broughton is going to come out of the game. Jackson is in. I see Jaden Smith is in there. I see Lavelle Howard is in there. They are in Screaming Eagle. David, you missed it. They're going to give a toss underneath to Jackson. Jackson's going to dance out of it, breaks a tackle, spins. That's going to be a worldwide automotive touchdown for Demir Jackson. The Screaming Eagle scores. David, I hope you're sitting at home watching it. Demir Jackson gets into the end zone for the first touchdown of the night out of the super jumbo formation, and a quick toss in the backfield. And what a spin move towards the end of that to get into the end zone. Sertivan on for the extra point. Out of the hold of Sebastian Broughton, kick is up and good.
Kick is up.
So with 3:03 to go in the first quarter, Fleming Island finds pay dirt and makes it a 10-0 ball game.
10, Fort White 0.
And the fans tonight, some of them decked out in pink for Pink Out. You know, obviously the month of October is over, and much of that kind of goes by the wayside in November, but this is the last chance that Fleming Island had to have their Pink Out game. Lots of things going on with district tournaments right now. I was talking to PA announcer and head boys golf coach Bruce Cloud. Both the girls and boys golf teams are district champions this year, and they will be off to regional tournaments very soon. We've had some major success with swimming and diving recently here at Fleming Island. Cross country has done really well. Lots of regional championships getting ready to be played here. Of course, the volleyball team got into regionals and was knocked out, but they had another good season and a postseason team. And basketball season starts before you know it. Fort White has a return on. That's Jackson once again across the 20. He gets to the 25, trying to find a way around a Fleming Island defender, and that is not going to happen. And that's the rough part about playing so many different positions, is that you're going to end up returning a kick, and then you're going to have to jump to your feet and turn around and now play quarterback. Fort White had a little bit of promise on their second drive.
The student section on the pink posters, use the Sharpies provided to put down the name of the person who you're fighting for in their battle with cancer.
And they'll come out
Cancer Awareness
in
Month. That's
3
why
wide.
we're wearing pink.
On the side, Gavin Peterson, who's also listed as a quarterback. Slide somebody across the formation, they'll give, and that is a big run, and a helmet comes off.
Tackle made by David Smith.
David Smith on the tackle there. Number 55, James DeMauro, lost his head on that one. He'll have to come out for a play. That's their center.
That's a gain of 6. It'll be second
So
down
they'll have to
and
bring in
4.
some relief for this play. Solid gain of 6 on that one. Second down and 4, ball at the 31. And a timeout on the field by the officials. Looks like we might have some equipment issues here. Howard will come off the field for Fleming Island. Landon Howard will come in his position. Whistle things back in play. 2.5 minutes to go in the first. Jackson gives. Maybe looked like he had trouble getting that ball across. They're going to get enough for a first down right to the 35.
This time it's number 8, Nate Van Hoff on the stop.
Van Hoff with the stop.
Gets out to the 35. Fort White will attain first down.
First and 10 for the Indians. They have not quite crossed the 50-yard line so far in this quarter. LaCosta Bird in the backfield. He's been doing most of the running, sharing it. Boyd will be back there again. He bounces off a tackler, a little spin move, and he'll get about 7 or 8 yards there. LaCosta Bird on the carry, a senior.
Stripped up, tackled at the 42.
Solid gain on that play. Fort White does quite a bit of running between the tackles from what I've been able to see. Jackson, though, will do the heavy lifting from time to time in designed runs or in scrambles, so you have to be wary of his running capability too. But like I said at the top of the broadcast, Fort White really needs to spread the ball around tonight and not have anybody key in on their star quarterback. Second down and 3 from the 42. Fakes it, no, gives it to Bird. Bird runs upfield, gets into the second level, and that's a first down in Fleming Island territory for the Indians, and they're rolling now. Bird had a gaping hole in that Fleming Island secondary and charged right through it. Bird is also a big load like Demir Jackson, so if you're going to tackle him, you can't do it high. You're going to have to get him at the waist or lower. To the 43-yard line, actually 44-yard line of Fleming Island. This is their deepest penetration in this quarter. Drops, nope, gives it to Bird. Bird is tripped up. Chaffee with the initial contact, and then he is brought down by a gaggle of Golden Eagles. Maybe about a yard or so on the play. Might have gotten to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officials are stopping play here. Clock stopped at 47 seconds.
Second down and 10.
And we're back in business. Kind of a different change we've seen from last week. You know, Middleburg staying in that sugar huddle last week, and Fort White in the traditional huddle, getting the plays in. Second and 10, ball still at the 43. Jaden Jackson steps back. Good pocket. Slings it to the outside, has to climb the ladder, but he gets it after about 4 or 5 yards.
Pass caught, the tackle's made by number 5, Corey Allen.
And couldn't see the number. It looks like that might have been Michael Peterson Jr. on the reception.
39-yard
Couldn't quite see it from my angle here. Yeah, that's number 1. So he had to jump up, grab that high pass. Third down. And this will be the end of the first quarter. So with that said, we'll put 12 more minutes on the clock, come back and do the second quarter. So Fleming Island with a 10-point lead right now on Friday Night Lights on SSB. We'll be back after this commercial timeout.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
Welcome back to the second quarter of action on Friday Night Lights on SSB. This is BP alongside the team here. David Wells, my partner, out again this week with a bug. And hopefully he will be back for postseason play. I'll have a little bit more about that at the half and at postgame about where we stand from here.
River Christian Church after the ball game.
Fort White comes out, trips to the left. Jackson, play fake, pressure in the backfield. He avoids Chaffee, but doesn't avoid everybody else. And Kevin Reyes finishes it off in the backfield. Senior night. And he makes the highlight reel for sure. Kevin Reyes putting the squash on Jaden Jackson. Lavelle Howard also on the play as well. 4th down and 7 to go. And we're in that no-man land zone where you could punt or you could not. Jackson's going to move to the sideline here.
Looks like the offense is staying on.
And I think they're going to make a quarterback change. And I think they're going to put Gavin Peterson, who has been lined up as a receiver. He's going to come in at quarterback. And play clock is winding down here, so they may be taking the purposeful delay penalty here to see if they can get a little bit better punt. And
Timeout. Fort White.
we have a timeout on the field. Fort White will take their first charge timeout of the game.
4th down and 7.
4th down and 7 is where we stand right now. And Fort White will make a decision here. Head coach Demetric Jackson will talk to his troops, find out what they want to do next. If you're Fort White, might want to consider going for it. The run game's been doing a little well.
And 1 will be performing at halftime.
Speaking of halftime, if you happen to hear that in the background there, Eagle Band 1 playing at halftime, we are expected to have a special guest this evening. One of the senior athletes here from Fleming Island, a previous athlete of the week here at Fleming Island. We'll talk to them a little bit later on. 11:06 to go, and the boys in green with some pink accents getting the fans fired up here. So 4th down, and LaCosta Boyd is in the backfield, and it looks like he's going to run sort of a wildcat. They've got 5 wide receivers, empty backfield. He's going to quarterback draw all the way. I could have seen that. No, that was Jackson, and he ran for a 1st down. I'm sorry, I missaw the number there. Thought that was 0, but no, Jackson, he did it. They emptied the backfield, spread out the formation. He put a foot in the ground and took off. Got a 1st down, so you can't argue with that. Fleming Island not really ready for it seems, on defense.
They'll actually mark him down at the 31.
So the ball will rest now at the 31-yard line, 1st down. Again, Fort White driving. This is their best drive of the game. Let's see if they keep spreading them out here. Michael Peterson will come to the near side. He's in single coverage with Decory Allen. Nope, they give to Elijah Gardner, and he gets nailed by 3 Golden Eagles. Chaffee on the lead there with the initial contact and had some help finishing me off. No gain on the play.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
So they'll stay right there at the 31-yard line. Looks like we have a pair of brothers in Gavin and Michael Peterson. I'm not sure if they're related, don't have any indication, but they very well could be. They're going to be the wide receivers to the far side of each formation here. And then number 1, Michael, will come across here. They'll give, that's LaCosta Boyd.
And straight up the
He'll get about 2 yards on the straight up the gut play. Brings up 3rd down to the 29-yard line. Jarius Rogers in on the contact.
Pick up of 1.
3rd down, and we'll have a stoppage of play here.
Officials call timeout on the field. Making a gain of 2. 3rd down and 8.
We'll wind it back in. 3rd down and 8. Some personnel changes for the Indians. Taking their time in the huddle here. Only down 10. I'll try to spread out the formation again, 4 wide. And we've got another stoppage here.
Officials timeout. Timeout.
for Fleming Island.
Fleming Island takes a charge timeout here. So apparently some formation confusion, and Coach Chip wants to talk about this with the defense. So one timeout gone for each team. They'll have 2 going into the half. Stops the clock with 9:10 to go. So looking ahead a little bit here as we close out the regular season for football, we will be moving ahead to basketball. We are currently working out some scheduling arrangements with Fleming Island as well as Orange Park. They share a district schedule, so we will likely get some overlap with other teams in the area. So you'll see some games with Clay, you'll see some Ridgeview. We're also going to be bouncing back and forth for the Battle on the Island tournament again this year. We will spend some time here at the Nest and then go over to the Raider Dome for some basketball later in December. Looking forward to that. And as we eclipse 2025, we're looking ahead to some coverage of a little bit of baseball and softball, and we might even touch on some flag football this year. Looking forward to that as we approach the winter and spring. Jackson's got an open man, and that's going to go into the end zone. Nobody home.
Pass over the head of the intended receiver to
Peterson,
Courtney Allen,
number
coverage
1,
for the
was
Golden
the
Eagles,
intended
along with
target
number 25.
as he throws that way over his head. 4th down here.
I'll bring up fourth
Ball
down
sitting
and
at the
8.
29-yard line. It's 4th and 8. And again, Fort White will keep the offense on the field. Last 4th down conversion, Jackson spread it out, called his own number, and ran for 8 yards for a first down. See if Fleming Island keys in on that on this possession. Big 4th down here. Spread it out again, and another stoppage. And then we'll say, never mind, we'll go back to work. Apparently the officials saw something they didn't like and then fixed it. Jackson drops back, finds a receiver that is incomplete. Had it in his hands.
That's going to turn the ball over to the
Turns it
Golden
over
Eagles.
on downs. First down, Fleming Island, and a good stand there. That was a wide open receiver who was across the sticks and would have gotten a first down on that one. Doesn't go Fort White's way. Golden Eagles will get 8:57 and 2 timeouts to continue, see if they can pad this lead on senior night. Let's go to another senior shout-out. Going to give some love to Nate Van Hoff from his entire family. We call him around here Never Not Working. Congratulations to Nate Van Hoff on a fantastic season, and it's been a joy watching him on Friday Night Lights. Flag on the play. And it looks like we have an encroachment penalty on Fort White, so they're going to give up free yardage here.
8:57 to go.
Not what you wanted to do coming out of change of possession there if you're Fort White.
5-yard penalty against Fort White.
1st and 5 now.
First down and 5 for the Golden Eagles at their own 34.
3 wide outs. Jackson will come next to Broughton. Get a low snap. He'll fake it to Jackson. Throws it over the middle to Oliver Pachata. That's caught. He tries to thread the needle, then gets a blocker, cuts up, and then tries to do a nifty little move, and then he gets down at the 35-yard line after some nifty running. Pachata has really come in later in the season as an excellent possession receiver and running out in the middle of the field there. And Broughton's done a lot of that too this season, finding those receivers open in the middle and creating some space so his skill players can run. And Pachata has done quite a bit of that this season. Into Fort White territory on the 35, 1st and 10. Pachata will come to the right side of the formation. He's on the far boundary. Trips to the left. Jackson dots the pistol.
Bernie Smith and
Get a snap.
the wide out.
Play fake to Jackson. It was rolling to his left. Broughton trying to find a receiver. He's going to wiggle out of some defenders. Tried to run for his life. He's going to get across. Back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to clip him from the back of the legs, but he is all right. Just gets about a yard on the play. Did a lot of running for just a single-yard gain, but his receivers were well covered. So to bring up 2nd and 9. Ball was set at the 34-yard line. Broughton ran about 25 yards just to get the 1. They'll flip the trips over to the right side now. Jackson stays just behind Broughton. Get a snap, though. Run this time to Jackson, who's got a nice open hole. The offensive line did a good job blocking. Jackson's going to do the rest. He fights his way into the end zone for another Worldwide Automotive touchdown. Demir Jackson's hit 1,000 yards. He's got a pair of touchdowns tonight, and he has got the Golden Eagles rolling. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep giving it to DJ, and he'll take care of it. Parker Sertivan on for another extra point.
34-yard touchdown run for Demir Jackson puts the Golden Eagles on the board once again. Parker Sertivan on
7:32 to go in this first half. Good snap. Broughton's hold is good. Kick up and good. 17-0. Fleming Island with a lead.
To go in the first half. Your score,
Fort White has made a couple of attempts
Fort White 0.
to get in the end zone, but not quite. Meanwhile, Demir Jackson has been doing all the running for Fleming Island right now. Just waiting on Trace Burney to get his chunk of yardage to break the 1,000-yard mark. I'm sure we'll see some of that. But the question that I ask at this point is, how long will Coach Chip keep his starters and seniors in the game as Fleming Island tries to pull away here? I'm sure they're going to want to try to shorten this game up, get that running clock going as quick as possible so they can go in, close out the regular season, and start talking about what their next opponent might look like. Sertivan will tee things off here. Too deep for Fort White. Another crystal clear, beautiful night here in Fleming Island. Sertivan's end-over-end kick will drive back. That will be returnable.
Sertivan's kick is fielded.
And that looks like, and is that Jaden Jackson? He puts a foot in the ground, and he's got a hole, and he gets across the 35, just shy of the 40-yard line.
Tackle on the return.
That's where they'll drop him there.
Number 25, Logan Batig.
Batig on the tackle. And Fort White will take over with decent field position to start this drive.
Fort
down
White
17.
Their own 39-yard line, first down.
Fleming Island's defense has been playing bend, don't break tonight. They've had a couple of gaffes, I guess you could say, where the run game was beat. Jackson's had a quarterback draw successful for a first down. Acosta Bird and Elijah Gardner, number 3, has also been doing a pretty good job. Sorry, I had to actually look at my script there for a second. Gardner will share the running back duties with Bird, but Bird has been carrying most of the load right now for the Indians. Try to give it over to the left side, and Golden Eagles will be all over that. Gardner with the carry. Looks like he's lost a yard on that play.
38-yard line.
38-yard line is where they'll spot it. Second down, 11. Again, Elijah Gardner, LaCosta Bird have been doing the running. Fort White sort of methodical in the huddle. Don't seem to be any hurry or any sense of urgency there. Golden Eagles look like they're coming out in a cover 0. They're playing pressure on the run. Again, last week, Jackson only threw for 31 yards. He did not throw very many passes at all, but 3 of those passes were touchdowns inside the 10-yard line. We're going to get a timeout here. Fort White seems to be a little dazed right now. Don't have an answer for this Fleming Island defense. Second charge timeout of the half by the Indians. 6:24. And did not get a signal just yet if we've used this as the mandatory water break, so we're still on that side of the 6-minute mark. Likely we'll get that second timeout a little bit later on this quarter. Again, happy you're joining us tonight. SSBJax.com, the place to find all the information you need for Sunshine State Broadcasting and more. We're also live on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Follow us on social media and stay up to date with our next broadcast, where we are in your community. Looking forward to basketball season. Go inside the gyms and see what the Fleming Island Golden Eagles are doing this season. I know Coach Derek Konitsky over at Orange Park is excited that we'll be coming by at some point. looking forward to making contact and meeting some new friends over at Ridgeview as we get into district play. All sorts of things ahead for us here as we get into the colder months, or whatever you can consider cold in Florida. Power run all the way for Jackson. He tries to find a blocker or two, and he does. Manages to squirt out for about 6 or 7 yards. Some good patient running by Jaden Jackson. Logan Batig on the tackle.
46-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
And again, Jaden Jackson's kind of the ace that they have. He is their all-around athlete, plays on both sides of the ball, will also get on special teams. I think the only thing he doesn't do is kick. Third down and 3, they'll say he's at the 46-yard line. Gardner in the backfield with Jackson. They'll come out with 3 wide. Jackson will take the snap, gives to Gardner. Gardner's got a first down.
And,
well blocked by the O-line there for Fort White, and they'll move the sticks. Chaffee will get a tackle there, and now we're going to take that timeout.
Officials timeout for a water break.
And they will go ahead and give them the water break at 5:29 left to go in the half. We'll take that break with them. 17-0 Fleming Island. We'll be back right after this on SSB.
Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
Welcome back. Friday Night Lights on SSB. Second quarter action coming out of the second water break. First down and 10 for Fort White. Jackson will get a snap. Here comes some pressure. Throwing over the top. That is Cole. Almost caught right between his hands. I thought he had thrown him a dime on that one. Michael Peterson Jr. darting downfield and just had it slip right through his hands. That was a definite first down catch. Might not have scored, but it was definitely going to be a pretty ball. Second down and 10. That's not the first time that Jackson's taken a shot downfield, so Fleming Island might want to adjust to that after a while, or you're going to see a couple more shots down 17. Ball sitting at the 47. Fort White, again, taking their time in the huddle. Come out 3 wide. Get a snap, and he'll pitch it out there. Fleming Island all over that one. Chase Donaldson snuffed that out from the sides there, and good patient assignment football there by Chase Donaldson to hit them in the backfield on the pitch play. 3rd and 14. Good quality tackle in the open field by Donaldson. Ball all the way back at the 49-yard line of Fort White. Jackson drops back, tries to throw a screen, and that is a request denied. Jarius Rogers will jump up and almost gobble that up. If he had gotten his arms on that one, he likely would have danced into the end zone for the pick 6. But on the screen play, just letting him come back.
They'll bring on the punt team this time.
And that will bring on a punter.
Sebastian Cruz,
back to punt for the Indians. Maxwell Ejolfson. I hope I have said that correctly. To Corey Allen, back deep. And it looks like Sebastian Cruz also back there as well. Driving punt. Allen will receive it. And he's going to look for some blockers and tries to dance around, crosses the 20. He's got a little bit of a convoy, gets to the 25-yard line, and Corey Allen just continues running on the track, takes himself a lap, and then we'll come back with the ball. First down and 10 for the Golden Eagles. Haven't seen much of Corey Allen on the special teams unit. Had to dig that one out of the dirt, and that was almost dicey. You got to be careful of the muff on that one, but he recovers it and gets a positive gain out of it. 4:17 to go in this first half. Ball will sit at the 28-yard line of Fleming Island. Quads now for Broughton. He'll run out on his own, calls his number his own way. Sebastian Broughton is gone. Got a block. Has a blocker further downfield across the 40, 35-30. Sebastian Broughton down to the 25-yard line, and that's where he'll slam on the brakes. So Broughton runs the quarterback draw and a big first down for the Golden Eagles. That's Sebastian Broughton's longest run of the night. Spot the ball officially at the 24-yard line. Jackson's going to come out of the backfield and line up in a slot. Broughton on his own again, calls his own number, runs upfield. Sebastian Broughton is just going to scamper into the end zone. Forget it, that's a touchdown. Sebastian Broughton jumps on the Worldwide Automotive touchdown train. That's the third rushing touchdown of the night. Broughton gets his first of the evening, and that's touchdown number 97 for Broughton on the career. Comes at 3:44 to go in the first half.
.24-yard touchdown run by
Parker Sertivin on for the extra point.
Gives the Golden Eagles another score as Parker Sertivin is on to try the point after.
Good hold, kick is up, and good.
Kick is up.
So with 3:44 to go in the half, Fleming Island 24, Fort White nada.
First half, your score, Fleming Island 24, Fort White 0.
Quick change of possession here, and coming up at the half, we have a special guest. I will let her introduce herself when she gets here. But on senior night, we thought it appropriate to invite a senior to come up and talk with us a little bit about 4 years at Fleming Island and what's on the horizon.
He's in the white, he's in the black and white hat, black shorts. Same down there? Yeah. Good luck.
Sertivin will send this off.
Parker Sertivin will kick
Too deep
off
for Fort White.
following the score.
Kick is away, line drive. And this one will dribble into the end zone for a touchback, and Fort White will come out to the 20-yard line to start the drive. Only got one timeout left to work with here. Fort White in desperate need of some sort of scoring drive right now to stay in this game. And Fort White has had a season of ups and downs. For a 5-3 team, it has been sort of feast or famine with them. Last week, a 48-0 drubbing of Hilliard. Week prior to that, it was 44-10 in a loss. Fort White, according to their schedule right now, and of course that appears not to be completely updated by Max Preps. They've only played one district game, which seems unlikely. But they are 0-1 in their district, according to the Max Preps records right now. I can imagine part of their season interrupted by the hurricanes that have come through. So there are many teams that will only play 9 games in the regular season. Try to quick flare that one out, and that is incomplete.
Chase Donaldson on the coverage. Second down and 10.
Second down and 10. Clock stops at 3:40. Four wides. Trips to the right. Jackson play fake, and that one was a underthrown ball that ends up getting caught for a loss.
Back to about the
Hayden McCrory manages to put hands on the ball, but that is not the ball Jackson wanted to. It looks like he was trying to avoid pressure through off balance.
Down at the 18, loss of 2.
So they lose 2 on that one, and Fort White is backwards yet again.
Clock keeps running, 3:15.
And you can kind of tell from the body language, the hands on the hips and the offense, that these guys have not quite figured out what to do. Sort of see that their motivation is sort of dwindling here. Under 3 minutes to play in the half. You get a snap. Jackson fakes the option pitch and then gets run into David Smith. I'm sorry, Jarius Rogers wraps him up by the waist and puts him into the turf, and that's going to bring up 4th down for the Indians. And I'm imagining they're just going to go ahead and punt this ball away. And
it's going to be 4th down.
I see these guys right now are kind of moving with no sense of urgency or hop to them at all. They already look defeated in this first half. That's unfortunate. There's still plenty of football left to play. DeCorey Allen and Sebastian Cruz will go deep for the Golden Eagles. And it looks like Fleming Island will get some pretty good field position to get their next drive in. That punt nearly blocked. Cruz will wait for the fair catch, and he falls down at the Fort White 49-yard line. Good fielding on that one. Broughton will come over for another drive here. 2:04 left. Again, the success story right now for Fleming Island has been Demir Jackson breaking the 1,000-yard rushing mark. 2 touchdowns tonight. Sebastian Broughton scores touchdown number 97 in his career. He's trying to break the 100 mark before he gets to the end of the season, but they will have a postseason game to continue going on. Initially, we believe that the game will be scheduled against Ponte Vedra. Broughton will get a snap, throws over the middle. There's Trace Burney's first catch of the night. He tries to scamper and gets to the 40-yard line.
That's
Trace Burney only needed about 18 yards to break the 1,000-yard mark. That'll bring 9 of those, so he's halfway home. Another good catch like that, and he'll have eclipsed the grand. Broughton playing with a little bit of tempo, drops back to pass, throws. That is Eric Gentry. Eric Gentry gets a catch and a touchdown. Worldwide Automotive touchdown, Eric Gentry over the middle. What a catch, what a throw, and another big score for the Golden Eagles.
1:28 to go in the first half. Gentry,
That was a pretty throw, too, by Broughton.
From Sebastian Broughton.
Actually, I think at this point I've lost count.
On the board once again.
That'll be touchdown number 98, I believe, for Broughton, the touchdown pass. Came into the game with 96, 2 more, 1 throwing, 1 running. Parker Sertivan on for another extra point. Out of the hold of his quarterback. Little high snap, good grab. That is down, up, and good. So our new score with 1:28 to go in the half. Parker Sertivan tacks it on 31-0 now. Eric Gentry with a gorgeous pitch and catch from Broughton. Fort White will get one more crack at it before the half, but the Golden Eagles have stepped on the gas and they are not looking back. Again, happy you're with us tonight on Sunshine State Broadcasting, your local community broadcaster. Wrapping up our last regular season game for Friday Night Lights on SSB. More to go as we approach the postseason. Looks like Middleburg tonight is in a play-in situation. They win tonight against North Marion. They may have gotten themselves a playoff berth.
Ryan, this is Ava.
Travis Cunningham, our athletic director, wanted to be on the mic for a second.
Ava will.
Ava will be on the mic in a second. That's a short kick there. Said Ava came up a little bit ago and looked like she was nervous. Like, what are all these people doing here?
39, tackle made by David Smith.
Coming up next at the half, I'll have one of the fastest young ladies in Fleming Island High School. I have not bet her that I will run against her. She will probably kick my tail. I might roll faster than she can run. But in a board-breaking contest, I might win.
Did Paul tell you about the signing?
Yes.
My son last year, I did the same thing. He had a sign early.
1:24 to go here. Fort White will get a possession.
That's fair. I mean, it's
One timeout left. And we do have a change at quarterback here. Jaden Jackson has come out. They're going to go to Gavin Peterson now, running the offense.
I'm going.
I know, I'm sorry, I stand correct. That's Ethan Keynes, number 12. That's going to be caught, nearly intercepted. And that's going to be stopped right there, inbounds, after about a 5, maybe 6-yard gain.
New quarterback in for Fort White is number 12, Ethan Keynes.
What time do you have to be there?
not that early, like 6:30.
So if I'm reading this roster correctly, and this is according to Max Preps, what we have from Fort White, Ethan Keynes is listed as a 7th grader. I'm not sure if that's really the case, but we're going to have to maybe convert that. He's a little bigger than a 7th grader. That pass incomplete. Trace Burney on coverage there. Now, Trace has done that a couple of times this season where he'll line up in the secondary.
Sideline.
But not in that case. He is trotted over to the sideline and he'll come back on the field. Burney will play a lot of that in the secondary just as a hands person. Looks like Fleming Island is going to drop back too deep in coverage and play protect on that one. And we got another stoppage of play here. And it looks like Fort White's going to take their final time out of the half. And again, as we've been watching this game develop here, Fort White has looked terribly confused. And actually, while I've got him behind me here, I want to see if I can get Travis on the mic just for a second. I'm all tangled up here. Travis, if I can get you on the mic for like 5 seconds here, we'll get a quick plug here. The athletic director from Fleming Island, Travis Cunningham. Good evening, sir. What a gorgeous night for senior night.
It did turn out good. We got lucky with the weather. I think last year we were in the rain a little bit, but it worked out for us and our seniors.
Well, actually, there we go. Now I can hear you. There you are. So anyway, but yeah, senior night, pink out night, and looks like there's a playoff berth ahead for you guys too. So postseason coming around the corner. And do you guys have any idea of who your next opponent is yet, or is that something you have to wait on?
So as it sits right now, we are going to go to Tallahassee Lincoln. But I think if things work out the way I'm hoping, as long as we win tonight, finish this out, and Beachside is playing Nice. If they lose, I'm pretty sure we will jump to the 5th, possibly the 4th, and host, hopefully, Ponte Vedra the first round.
Yep. So then the first round of the regional quarterfinals takes place on November 15th. So we'll be waiting for that right now. I saw that Middleburg's in a play-in scenario right now. So if they get a victory over North Marion, it looks like they might get in tonight.
Yep, they'll sneak in the 8th, I think.
Yeah, Beachside and Nice right now. Boy, that Nice team is something else. Undefeated. They've got another game scheduled against Bartram next week in that makeup week that the association put together. But yeah, the Panthers have been kind of unstoppable. Colin Drass has been doing a pretty good job over there.
We're big Panther fans tonight.
Yes, well, I mean, I'm an alum, so yeah, of course I'm a Panther fan tonight. But I would like Nice to go undefeated, but because they beat St. Augustine for the first time in umpteen years.
Yeah.
Made me feel good. But yeah, that's something else going on there. Just, lots of games we're watching scores tonight. We're going to take a quick timeout. Thanks, Travis, for stopping by. Braden playing tonight?
Say it again.
FAU in action.
They're on right now playing USF.
Okay, that's what I thought. So they got a big game down there. And coming up in the half, we've got Ava Hendricks from the cross country team. She's a fantastic runner, and I hear she's hilarious. So we're going to have her on for the half just after a quick timeout. Score 31-0 at the break. You're watching Friday Night Lights on SSB. We'll be back in just a moment.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue. Orange Park, Florida.
Having served Clay County for 18 years, Worldwide Automotive is bringing back the neighborhood repair facility with fair and honest pricing. It's why Worldwide Automotive's motto is car repair with care. Worldwide Automotive provides old-fashioned customer-centered service in an environment that is friendly and welcoming. Servicing domestic and European cars, Worldwide Automotive is offering $25 off to anyone who mentions this ad. And that's for any service. There's no need to go to the dealer for your 30, 60, 90, or 120-mile services. They offer same-day service and will handle your requirements for oil changes, belts, tire rotations, air conditioning, brake flushes, transmission services, and tune-ups. Come by and say hi to owners Joe and Valerie and see why they say their customers are family. Worldwide Automotive is located at 2490 County Road 220. For more information, go to worldwide-automotive.com.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
Welcome to the half and the 31-0 ball game. Fleming Island on senior night, pink out night. I even dressed for the occasion. The rest of the guys, not so much. BP alongside Ava Hendricks, senior cross-country runner and Indiana State commit. So moving up to the Midwest to continue your career. How about cool is that?
Yeah, it's really awesome. Coach Butler out there reached out to me, and you know, I go up there every summer to run the mile just for fun because a lot of my family lives out there still. So I'm really excited to be able to go out there, and it's going to be really cold though. So
yes.
Not exactly excited for that, but you know, do get a jacket or two. So that will be nice.
Well, it occasionally gets cold here in Florida, so you get somewhat used to it, but it's nothing like the Midwest. I have family up there, and yeah, it's the same thing. Freeze your bum off. So what is Fleming Island's like cross-country team like? I follow them on Instagram, you know, Angry Eagle distance runners, so that seems to be a hilarious crowd to run with, but what's it like being on that team?
Yeah, Coach Poole and Coach Dave, they love the team, especially Coach Dave's Instagram account, the Angry Eagles. He loves to post, and he loves to really, you know, make sure the team is more like a family rather than just, you know, any other running team. You know, we don't just go out there to run, you know, just get a few miles in. It's more like we go out there for each other, and we're heading into the state series. Tomorrow's our district meet over at Middleburg, which everybody's really looking forward to because, I mean, I'm not sure about the girls placement-wise, but I know that it's going to be, we've gotten it progressively stronger as the season has gone on, so everyone's extremely excited to be able to hopefully lay down a season best, or if not even better than that, you know, maybe a personal best. So everybody performed absolutely amazing. Like, I think 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago at the New World Fall Spectacular. So our boys are starting to get up there as well as our girls. So everybody's really excited to see what happens tomorrow.
You ran a 5K out there. It was 1836, was it? 1840.
Yes.
Yeah. And now, in terms, for anybody who doesn't really know or follow cross country, so in terms of speed, how fast of a 5K is that?
So an 1840 is 6 minutes per mile for 3.11 miles, if you want to get exact. But you know, it's great to be able to get out there and run with a crowd like that because it was a really fast race and the weather was just amazing. Like, that day was probably prime cross-country running day, and everybody was just able to get out there and lay down a season best. But I'm hoping going into the postseason for a personal best, which that was the closest I've been in probably a full calendar year, so working really hard to hopefully dip under my personal best. So
nice, and that performance got you named Fleming Island's Athlete of the Week. You shared with Trace Burney, who's also having a season as well. He's about to break 1,000 yards receiving tonight. So now you and Trace are actually pretty fast. I've watched him through football and in basketball season. If you had to race somebody like that in a 100-yard dash, who's winning?
Well, I think that's a toss-up. Because it really depends on the day.
Yeah.
If I decide that I'm gonna beat him, maybe, where there's a will, there's a way. I like to believe. But it's really hard telling. I might want to give that one to him, though.
But you probably got him in a distance run, hands down, right?
Maybe. You never know. Maybe he's got that mentality to get out there.
There's a lot of endurance involved in
Right.
cross country, so you got to trade. You got to, some guys are just naturally fast for 100 yards, and after that, good luck.
Yeah, me, not so much. I could get down the 100-meter stretch as fast as I can, and I don't look at the clock.
Yeah,
So.
the last time I ran the 100-meter dash, it might have been 35 seconds, but that was years ago. I think I was running 10 seconds in high school, but I was also 130 pounds lighter.
Oh,
But anyway, so with all that being said, 4 years at Fleming Island, getting ready to go to Indiana State, what is something that you're going to miss about being a Golden Eagle before you graduate?
Well, I'm definitely going to miss the culture. It's changed a lot over the past few years. When I ran here my freshman season, we definitely had a different group of girls. So I would say that to be able to watch this team grow and everything, I'm definitely going to miss that aspect. But with the girls that I met at Indiana State, I think it's going to be pretty close to like a family and all of that. I'm so excited to be a part of a team, and especially to go Division I, which my freshman year, running was not really in my books. I was all about my education, I was like trying to climb the class ranks, but now to be able to balance that and have both is a real blessing. So I'm really, really excited about all of that and all the opportunities that I've been given through running. And to be able to go out to Indiana State it's massive for me, especially because I'd never really thought I was going to be an athlete. So
wow, so athletics wasn't something that you had considered until later, which is interesting.
Yeah, so my mom, she kind of made me run in middle school. So if you ever see a picture of me running for the Green Cove Cougars, I probably walked half that 5K because my mom made me do it. And, but I will say, I would walk more when my coach didn't see me. So on the back of the course. So
that's going to be on the internet forever, by the way. So
that's okay. It's fine. Yeah, you could go look up my mile split. You'll probably find a few questionable results, but it's okay. So I definitely think the growth from that, and my really good friend for the past longer than 4 years, since elementary school, Sophie White, and she's a senior on our cross country team as well. She's actually the one who made me do it, so I guess I owe a lot of thanks to her because I did beg my mom to let me not run anymore after middle school. And she finally said yes. And then my friend was like, please, run with me. And I was like, okay.
But it's a teammate thing, because I hated running anyway, even for training or fitness. And it took a partner to get me through stuff too. So I get it. You got to have your running buddy. All right, you've got the mic before we close it out. You're a senior, fellow seniors out tonight. Shout out everybody that you want to give some love to on senior night.
Okay, well, let's see. I got to give a shout out to some of my cheerleaders down here. Ella Orr, love her. She's been a good friend of mine for several years. Let's see, who else is down here? I can't even see because I'm so high up. But every senior on the football team, I see them out here. They work incredibly hard in a lot of gear too, which is absolutely terrible in the Florida heat because I'm over here running in a tank top and some shorts and I'm still miserable sometimes. But, gotta love it. Love athletics. Love everybody here. So I just think that every senior here has worked incredibly hard. I've seen several D1 commitments and other college commitments as well, which is incredibly impressive, especially if you look at the stats that, the odds of even being able to do that. So I'm proud of pretty much every athlete here and to be a part of a school and a team and a community as great as this one. So, I'm just incredibly grateful to everybody here, especially Coach Dave, Coach Poole. Got to give them shout outs too. They're awesome. And shout out Mr. Cunningham, gave me selected for Athlete of the Week, which was my freshman year dream. So I really feel like this year has just been great, and I'm excited to hopefully end it on a high note in the state series. So.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you in the postseason and the rest of the team. We'll be following Instagram, keeping up with you guys. Don't get into trouble. I know you guys do some funny antics in the middle of practice. I have seen them. They're hilarious. Ava Hendricks, senior, cross country. A lot of fun to talk with tonight. Thanks to Travis Cunningham for having her come up tonight. We've got Eagle Band 1 playing at the half and more football coming for you. Friday Night Lights on SSB. We'll take a timeout, come back with more halftime festivities, and I'll recap the first half right after this.
Having served Clay County for 18 years, Worldwide Automotive is bringing back the neighborhood repair facility with fair and honest pricing. It's why Worldwide Automotive's motto is car repair with care. Worldwide Automotive provides old-fashioned customer-centered service in an environment that is friendly and welcoming. Servicing domestic and European cars, Worldwide Automotive is offering $25 off to anyone who mentions this ad. And that's for any service. There's no need to go to the dealer for your 30, 60, 90, or 120-mile services. They offer same-day service and will handle your requirements for oil changes, belts, tire rotations, air conditioning, brake flushes, transmission services, and tune-ups. Come by and say hi to owners Joe and Valerie and see why they say their customers are family. Worldwide Automotive is located at 2490 County Road 220. For more information, go to worldwide-automotive.com.
Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
Welcome back, everybody. Coming up on the end of halftime here, we want to give our thanks to Ava Hendricks. What a personality. She's a lot of fun, and she's going to be an asset to Indiana State running on their cross-country team. Good luck to the cross-country team, the Angry Eagle distance runners going into the postseason right now. I've got some score updates for you, and some of these are going to make your head spin. Ponte Vedra 21, Creekside 20. Ponte Vedra trying to fight their way into some seeding. What we're looking at right now is that Fleming Island may end up going on the road to Lincoln, but I read their max prep schedule, and they have some hope that they're trying to get Ponte Vedra. I think that may be the case. Nice is pounding on Beachside right now, 28-7. Every Golden Eagle fan is rooting for the Panthers right now because that will help with the tournament seeding. Orange Park is leading Clay right now at the half, 13-7. That's an important game for the psyche of Orange Park. Middleburg right now in a win and get in scenario. Middleburg leading North Marion 20-7. Middleburg's win tonight puts them on 7-3 or 7-3 overall, and that again could get them into the playoffs. Beachside right now sitting at 7-2. A loss doesn't necessarily hurt them in terms of getting in, but the seeding will change a little bit. And of course, our score right here, Fleming Island leading 31-0 over Fort White, and that's a look at Class 5A District 3 scores. We'll also have some other scores in the area that we wanted to watch. One of our key games this week in the area was St. Augustine and Mandarin, and that one is one that I'll pull up a score for you in just a second here, but we're getting ready to start the second half of play. Fort White in a hole and kicking to Fleming Island. Sebastian Cruz deep to return, and he will find a hole, and Sebastian Cruz is gone. He's got one more man to beat. He's going to shove a stiff arm, crosses the 40, to the 30, to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Did he go the distance? He did. Sebastian Cruz, my man. Coast to coast on the opening kickoff of the second half and put it on the scoreboard and start the clock. Sebastian Cruz has hit pay dirt for the first time this year. We've been waiting for him to break it. An absolutely exquisite run, just dancing and weaving through tackles. Little stiff arm at the end. Student section starts the war chant. I still haven't figured out why they do that. 96-yard kickoff return for touchdown. Buddy, you made the highlight reel, that's for sure. Singleton had one. I want to say that it might have been a little longer. I'll have to get the read on that one. Parker Sertivan kicks, and he bends that into the uprights. That is good. 11:29 to go. It's 38-0. We have now reached the 35-point threshold by FHSAA rules. The option to run the clock begins. We'll see if they decide to do that. I believe they will. Up 35.
With the next snap of the football, the clock will be running.
And we're getting that from the officials in the booth here in the PA box. They are going to go ahead and run the clock. And that's how it looks like our season will end, on a running clock. But Sebastian Cruz with some fireworks to start the second half. What a run. Again, happy you're joining us tonight. Friday Night Lights on SSB. Our regular season finale. We are currently engaged right now in some scores around the area, keeping an eye on things, watching the seedings. We are hoping that Ponte Vedra and Fleming Island will get a rematch here at the Rock. We'll hope for the case. Sertivan sends this off into the end zone for a touchback, and the clock will continue to run regardless. And again, if you're new to high school football or just unfamiliar with the rules, in the running clock scenario, when a team is up by 35 points or more, clock will only stop on officials' timeouts. That includes the mandatory water breaks that have take place in the middle of each quarter, right about the 6-minute mark, and any charge timeouts that are taken by either team. Those will be the stoppages going forward. So on a change of possession like this, the clock will continue to run. And this is done as a sign of fairness and sportsmanship. Of course, Fort White was the beneficiary of this running clock last week as they jumped up big on Hilliard in a 48-0 win. Tonight, they're on the opposite end of a beatdown. 3 wide. And they'll give, and contacted immediately at the line of scrimmage and driven back. David Smith with some authority and a little pop of the pads there that we can hear up here. Nate Van Hoff with the assist. And that Fleming Island defense has just demolished this Fort White offense. Gavin Peterson at quarterback, it appears. They have gone to another quarterback to see if they can try to provide a spark to the offense. Fort White has been pretty much held harmless offensively. A couple of runs by Jaden Jackson to get some first downs, but beyond that, not a whole lot to write home about. Drops back to pass, flares it out, tries to get a little tunnel screen. There's a flag on the play, might get an offensive penalty there. A.J. Witt in on that play. Lavelle Howard also making contact. Flag down. The clock has stopped, and I believe they'll stop to get the penalty situated here. See if we can get the call from the officials here.
Offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay second down.
So a block below the waist. 10-yard penalty will back things up. So they'll back him up there, and that block below the waist. And that's been kind of the story of the night for Fort White. Again, you can kind of see the emotions of a football team as they come out there, and they came out with a little snap and pop, but right after about the first touchdown or so, Indians look dejected. So the officials stop the clock here for the penalty administration, and now they're running back in business. Deep inside their own territory. Corey Allen is trying to get the defense adjusted here, and that pass falls incomplete again. Another high pass. Fort White receivers have had to jump up and go airborne for several catches tonight. Third down and 20. Indians will come out, spreading the formation, 4 wide. Deep back at safety, it's just Logan Batig. Fumbled snap and gets out of the end zone, avoids the safety, but then gets to the 5-yard line, and that's going to be 4th down. And not a whole lot going on there for Fort White, as they'll bring on the special teams unit.
4th down and 25.
Starting to see some cleaner jerseys out there for Fleming Island, so it looks like some of the younger players are getting some playing time in. Sebastian Cruz is going to go back deep. Could we see another one? Corey Allen will also be back there as well. I think if you're Fort White, you want to keep this ball as far away from Cruz as possible. Snap, good kick. That's kind of a wobbler. Allen will get the reception. He muffed it. And I don't know, let's see if we got somebody on the bottom of the pile there with a football. But, yeah, Allen muffed that one. That's not the first time he's had trouble fielding a punt today. And it looks like Fleming Island will have retained possession.
Golden Eagles retain possession.
Get down to the 24-yard line, it looks like, where they'll start the offense. Now the question we have here is, will Sebastian Broughton come in this series? And it looks like he's out there. Some discussion from the officials at this point, but they're going to go ahead and confirm first down, Fleming Island. Broughton comes out at quarterback. He will, for the very least, run this series. Demir Jackson also still in the game. Trace Burney on the near sideline. He's going to line up in single coverage with Gavin Peterson. Stoppage of play. And Fort White is going to take a timeout.
Timeout, Fort White. That's their first of the half.
So again, the clock will stop with that charged timeout. So it will hold at 6:48 to go in the third quarter. Again, we want to give our thanks to Athletic Director Travis Cunningham here at Fleming Island High School for hosting us out yet again for a regular season game. Fingers crossed we'll get to bring the Cole team out for another football game in the postseason. With that being said, though, we are looking ahead to basketball season and looking for the Battle on the Island tournament, which will take us from both sites here at the Nest and then over to Orange Park and the Raider Dome. Caden is handing me a phone right now, and that means it's time for a score update. Some college football right now. Boise State with a 7-0 lead on San Diego State. UConn in a good one against Georgia State. 13-10 the Huskies are leading. And down there in beautiful paradise, Boca Raton, FAU with a 7-0 lead on South Florida. Braden Cunningham shouting him out. He's down there in action tonight for the Owls.
With Broughton.
Broughton back in at quarterback. 3 wide receivers. Jackson to his left. He'll give to Jackson. Nope, they'll fake it. Broughton will flare it out. Will Trace Burney get it? No. Just over his head slightly.
Trace Burney in the end zone.
Trying to get Burney to that 1,000-yard mark. He only needs about 9 yards or so, but another touchdown in the books for Broughton would get him a closer to 100 touchdowns. Second down and 10 from the 25. Again, clock will continue to run. So they'll move Burney over to the slot, and he has been dangerous in slot formations. They'll move Jackson out of the backfield, so it's all empty for Broughton. He's running into a screen, and that one in and out of the hands of Burney, right through it. Tried to run a little bit of a tunnel screen there, and no dice for Trace. Brings up third down. And, of course, if you're Fleming Island right now, you don't want to show everything because you still got some folks that are going to be watching film here getting ready for postseason play. Also invite you to stick with us after the ball game tonight. We'll have a little bit of a post-game show, but we're also going to have a district trophy presentation. We'll be watching for where they do that on the field. Stay tuned. Broughton shakes out of it and just gets grabbed by the jersey, trips and falls, and ends up getting tackled. That's going to go down as a sack. And again, Fleming Island playing somewhat conservatively here with a 38-point lead and a running clock. No sense to do anything strange or unusual. They're going to bring out the special teams unit, and I believe they're going to put Sertivan back here to punt. And Parker getting some instructions from his coach here. Kick this one high and kick this one in the corner if you can. Try to pin these guys back.
Sertivan on to try and get the ball
And
down.
we've got another stoppage of play here.
Officials timeout for a water break.
And we have that mandatory water break. I was about to say, we've been running clock pretty good here. So now with 4:46 to go, we'll take the middle of quarter water break here. And again, to our earlier point here, we're talking about postseason play and score updates. We will be watching those scores and keeping an eye on where Nice and Beachside are. That's a pivotal game, again, for Fleming Island standings right now. We're also going to be working on watching the St. Augustine Mandarin game. That is a game pivotal to the Mustangs and the Jackets right now in terms of their playoff standings. Again, Mandarin winning the district over Oakleaf last week. And, of course, you can watch our coverage of that game on our YouTube channel. No commentary because we did not have our full team out there, but Garrett Bindford doing a fantastic job getting footage of that Oakleaf Mandarin game and the 6A District 2 championship. Again, the Mustangs in action at home tonight against St. Augustine. Nice will get one more game next week in a rescheduled matchup in the district. It's technically a district game, but Nice has already won the district, so there's nothing to impact the standings, just the postseason, really. And Nice could go wire to wire and go undefeated. Sertivan gets a punt off, tries to angle that a little bit. They'll signal for fair catch. Smith is going to try to get on this, and he did. Did he tip it? And he did tap it out of the end zone, and that is an excellent coverage play by David Smith to get downfield and smack that ball away from the goal line and prevent the touchback.
David Smith, the one keeping it out of the end zone.
Sertivan brings out the pitching wedge there and kind of chunks that in, a little bit of a spiral punt. And Smith does the job as the gunner, and Fleming Island's got Fort White in the shadow of their own goal post all the way down to the 1-yard line. Can we get a safety here, perhaps? Defense is probably going to pin their ears back. Fort White has struggled mightily against this Fleming Island team. They've had some success with interior runs, though. They have not been blemish-free, this Fleming Island defense, but they have made the plays when they needed to. First down and 10 from the 1. Drops back in the shadow of his goalpost. Throws a flare out. That's caught. Good movement. Great read, great throw, and that might be enough for a first down. It looks like that's the case. And they will give him 11 yards of a first down. So Corey Allen with the tackle. Good for Fort White following the holes there. And moving the sticks. Second down. Drops back. Steps out of the pocket. Has some green grass. Open field tackle.
Quarterback takes off running. Gets up
David
to
Smith
about 33
loses
yard
his
line.
hat about the 39-yard line, and he'll have to come off for a play.
Fort White has first down.
Got another senior shout-out for you here. 2 of them, actually, in just a second. We'll get this play in. Coming up on 2.5 minutes to go in the quarter. 4 wide receivers. Takes a snap, tries to throw deep, and that is incomplete.
Incomplete.
In and out of the hands. Looked like it was going to throw a dime, did Peterson. Gavin Peterson listed as a freshman, 6'1", 170. Getting some valuable playing time there.
On the coverage.
Got a shout out coming from Garrett Dewey. He wants to give some love to both Aiden Emanuel and Joe McFarland. Some fellow players on the squad. Thank you for sending that out to us. Still got some time left. You want to hit us up on Instagram, send us a DM, and we'll get you some senior shout outs in as we still have time on the clock. Peterson running through traffic. Finally runs into a Golden Eagle defender who will take him down to the turf.
Made.
And got some extracurriculars afterwards, and that will draw a flag. Got to keep the tempers down here.
At the end of the play.
Don't need to be getting any unsportsmanlike conduct penalties that would result in some adverse action of the postseason. And also otherwise ruin a really good play. I'll stop the clock here to assess the penalty. 90 seconds to go in the third. And we'll get the call.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, penalty is half the distance, third down, down counts.
So,
Correction, 15 yards.
I was about to say, half the distance is kind of 15 yards, but nonetheless. And it was not unsportsmanlike conduct, but a dead ball foul nonetheless. Very important at this point that you don't have plays of discipline and result in flags that could impact your remaining part of the season.
Third down, 17 to go.
So third and 17 now.
Following the penalty.
Spread it out, 4 wide. He'll drop back to pass. Pressure coming in. He steps up in the pocket. Waves in and out. Trying to find an open receiver. Can't do it. Ends up getting sacked.
He'll be sacked.
Demir Jackson flips over to defense, and he puts a hit on, and that's going to be 4th down and a country mile for the Indians. Special teams unit looks like they're coming on for both squads. Sebastian Cruz will stay on the field. Looks like he'll return this punt. Maybe a solo return here. And nope, Corey Allen will drop back with him. So they've been kind of going to this 2-man punt return scenario. So Parker Serderman's punt, David Smith's downing it, flipped the field successfully. Fleming Island going to get another short field to work with here as we approach the 4th quarter. That punt nearly blocked. Allen will grab this one, and now he's going to find a block, but he's going to run into a couple of tackles, get grabbed by the foot, and that's going to be the end of that one. Corey Allen tried to make something happen there. Get inside the 25-yard line yet again, and we're going to hit the end of the third quarter. Sebastian Cruz started things off with a long kickoff return of 96 yards to put it in the end zone and give us the running clock. We now approach the fourth quarter. 38-0. Fleming Island with the lead. We'll take a timeout, come back after this. You're watching Friday Night Lights on SSB.
Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on SSB. I was just happening to looking through some of the scores from teams in the North Florida area. Now, this is listed in the first quarter, but some of this is delayed a little bit with the updates. But I'm reading the score correctly. Columbia is leading North Miami Beach 90-0. I didn't even know that was possible in a high school game. Bartram Trail beating up on Ribault, though, 35-6. West Nassau on Fernandina Beach, 14-12 right now. Episcopal, David's alma mater, leaving Ridgeview in the dust there, 28-0. Bishop Kenny beating on Providence, 28-7. Oakleaf hammering Tucoy Creek on their senior night, 42-7. That Neaston Beachside score still holding up at 28-7. And we've still got Ponte Vedra 21-20 over Creekside. Orange Park still leading Clay 13-7 in our last update. Middleburg leading North Marion 20-0 right now. Palatka blowing out Father Lopez 41-0. Paxson School for Advanced Studies leading 21-12 right now. We got a pass into the end zone. That is into the waiting arms of a Fleming Island defender, and it looks like, did Trace Burney catch that in the end zone for a touchback?
Yeah, he caught that.
Fans in front of us say, go ahead and give it to him. They did. Oh, that's right. That's a touchdown. Trace Burney just sort of sitting there in defenders and goes to the back of the end zone, gets the touchdown. Ladies and gentlemen, Trace Burney has exceeded the 1,000-yard mark for receptions this year. And penalty flags have flown everywhere. So I was in the middle of a score update there and saw some fireworks. So Trace Burney has done it. Demir Jackson has done it. Sebastian Broughton may do it for him. That may be, I think that might have been touchdown 99. So we'll have the officials come out and discuss. I saw as many as 3 penalty flags after that post-play, so that is definitely some USC penalties coming out now. Here's the call.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. That penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff. We will now have an untimed down for a try.
So they'll stop the clock here, I guess, with 11:07. Yes, due to the penalty assessment, they did say untimed down for the extra point. So Broughton throws another touchdown pass. Trace Burney, another celebration, another milestone. Sertivan will come on for the extra point. Good snap, kick is up, and good. So with 11:07 to go in the running clock scenario, fourth quarter, Fleming Island 45, Fort White nothing.
Fort White 0.
Got a score update in the Orange Park Clay game. Orange Park has now extended their lead to 20-7 over there on State Road 16. How about the Raiders finishing out with a win on the road against a crosstown rival?
Just worried about upcoming state series action. Your boys golf team is in action Monday.
So they're going to move this up likely to
Region 1-2A championship.
the 45-yard
The
line.
girls golf team travels to Lake City.
Maybe
to play
closer than that, actually.
Heights Golf Club on Tuesday.
Mark
for
off
the
the
same
unsportsmanlike
Region
conduct penalty.
1-2A championship for the ladies. First playoff game for the Golden Eagles will be in 2 weeks.
Imagine
from
the
tonight.
kick will go to the end
Location
zone.
and opponent to be determined depending upon the results of the games tonight.
So
Check local
checking on the playoff listings right now, Beachside is still still losing to Nice right now, 28-7 score. So that game is pivotal because of the seeding. Middleburg wins tonight. They might slip in as an 8 seed. That would put at least 3 teams, maybe 4, from District 3 in the playoffs. And since they would all fall under the regional categorization, they will likely have some rematches starting as early as the regional quarterfinals. Again, regional quarterfinal action begins on Friday, November 15th. We will be watching the seeding, and we will be watching where Fleming Island will end up. We have discussed with the athletic staff here that our intention would be to come out for a home playoff game should Fleming Island receive one. The initial look right now is that Fleming would go on the road to Tallahassee Lincoln for the regional quarters. Should that be the case, we will check the area games to see what other district teams may be in the playoffs at home, and we will attempt to broadcast there. A lot of that to be determined right now. But our hope is that we'll be here. Fort White trying to go back on offense, gets something on the board tonight.
Off right tackle.
Comes off right tackle. Under 10 minutes to go here. Again, the clock will continue to run.
For the Golden Eagles makes the tackle.
Again, stay with us after the game. We'll have some closing thoughts on the season. And we'll also look for the presentation of the district championship trophy. Again, this is the first district championship that Fleming Island has won since the 2019 season. After going back-to-back years with no district wins. They went 0-8 in the district 2 consecutive years, and then to come back this season on their 3rd head coach in as many seasons to sweep the district. So they have something definitely to hang their heads high about. Fort White dropping back. Peterson looking for a receiver, tries to float one out, and that is well defended. Michael Naismith, the sophomore, 5'11 sophomore, I might add, climbs the ladder, gets a hand on that one, breaks up the pass, and it's 4th down. Peterson's pass tried to float in there and does not hit the mark. Peterson will come over to the sidelines right now. Again, at this point, you ain't got nothing to lose. Might as well go ahead and get your boys some valuable experience here. And if I'm reading the schedule correctly, this is also Fort White's last game of the season. And they may have something to play for postseason-wise as well. We'll have to see. Peterson drops back to pass, steps up in the pocket, floats it over the middle. That is caught, and he will not have enough for the first down. He will be just short. Tried to stretch the ball out there, but it wasn't going to happen. And Fleming Island will take over.
Ball will turn over.
Clock running, approaching the 8-minute mark. So now I see who comes in to play offense for the Golden Eagles right now. It's a little bit of a huddle on the
8
sidelines.
minutes to go in the ball game.
Cannot see who's in the huddle down there. Demir Jackson has his helmet off. He's at least in on the conversation. And I see number 16, Eric Gentry. Looks like he's going to jump out and take over for quarterback duties. Again, Gentry is your quarterback of the future here. He's just a sophomore. And he will step into the shoes of Sebastian Broughton next year. So this is going to be some valuable time for him in game action. Gentry, very talented runner, also very mobile.
Is in the backfield with it.
He's been playing wide receiver, so he's been contributing, and we're going to have a stoppage
Whistle
play here.
blows before the start of the play.
And Fleming Island takes a timeout.
Fleming Island. That's their first of the half.
And they'll take the charge timeout with 7:15 to go in the ball game. Again, we will get another stoppage of play at some point of this quarter for the mandatory water break. And that will likely be the last time the clock stops in an official capacity prior to any timeouts. So yeah, Gentry comes in at quarterback, sophomore. He's been inserted at wide receiver, sort of doing what he can on the team. He's definitely earned the esteem of his teammates, but he will be the future here at Fleming Island, coming in at quarterback. Again, good runner, does have a decent arm. And so we'll see a little bit of what he's capable of as we come into this last bit of the ball game here, this last bit of the regular season. Gentry, believe it or not, if you didn't see it earlier, he has got a touchdown catch tonight. A beautiful throw from Broughton to Gentry over the middle. Wind the clock back in here. Gentry will line up with 3 wide receivers. Straight up run game.
Smith takes a handoff.
Smith will get a handoff.
He'll cross the 20-yard line, or get to the 20-yard line.
Get down to the 20-yard line
9-yard
and
pickup.
will not get a first down. Nope, they're going to move the sticks.
19. First down, go
So that'll be a first down
Eagles.
inside the red zone again for Fleming Island. Stay in that conventional 3 wide receiver set. Jaden Smith, he'll get the ball there and run into some traffic.
Smith again, hit in the backfield.
Jaden Smith, the senior, getting some quality time in his last home game, or what could be his last home game. Definitely the last regular season home game for the Golden Eagles. Again, quarterfinal action starting on the 15th. Regional semis will start the week after that. Golden Eagles, after this game, will go into a bye week scenario. They have no games to make up. They're playing their 10th and final game of the season, so they didn't have anything interrupt their schedule other than the date itself. They didn't have to move games up a separate week. Gentry will bounce off some tacklers there, get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all.
Gentry
So the
keeps it.
Golden Eagles will enjoy the bye week, and they will wait for the dust to settle in the playoff scenario, get a week of practice in, and then get ready for the postseason. Three wide on third down. 5.5 minutes to go. Gentry will play fake and give to Smith. Nope, Smith will bowl over.
Smith
Get a
again
couple of
with
yards there, and
handoff.
again, conservative
It's
play
still
call.
on the 18-yard line.
And then I'll bring up fourth down. And what are we going to do at this point here? You can put Sertivant in, just have him kick a field goal and
As
be
they
done with
bring
it.
up fourth down for the Golden Eagles.
Clock will run no matter what you do, so. Of course, they may be playing some situational football here and just getting in situations where you're managing the game, managing the clock. 4th and 8, under 5 to go. Gentry will marshal the offense on for another play. And we have a stoppage here.
Officials timeout for water break.
And they're going to go ahead and take the water break here to go with 4:45. So some more decision making to make here as they grab a sip. In the meantime, we'll go back to the scoreboard here and see what we have going for us. Orange Park has added a field goal to their score right now in the third quarter, 23-7, leading Clay. No change in the Ponte Vedra score right now, 21-20. They're leading Creekside. Nice has extended their lead against Beachside, now leading 35-7. Oakley still hammering on Tucoy Creek, 42-7. Middleburg scores listed at the half at the moment, 20-7. They're still leading North Marion. Episcopal leading Ridgeview, 35-0 still. Bartram Trail still beating on Ribault, 42-12. And looking at some games from Thursday night, they did have a little Thursday night football last week, and I was talking about that St. Augustine Mandarin game. The Yellow Jackets beat the Mustangs 38-26. Rains shut out Atlantic Coast 48-0. First Coast got a win over Jackson 6-0. Got a flag on the play. It looks like he might be just short of a first down. Watkins tries to get down there, but we'll have a flag and maybe in the vicinity of holding. Keep an eye on those scores there, but it looks like if that knee score holds, Fleming Island will get the beneficiary of the seeding. Turnover on downs after they declined the penalty. They did not get first down yardage, but nonetheless, they get a couple more minutes off the clock. 4:20 to go after they'll snap and get the clock back to running here. Fort White will take over and try to see if they can put something on the board. But yeah, that knee score doesn't surprise me. Boy, they've had a heck of a season over there in Panther country. 8-0, they'll likely finish. They'll play a game against Bartram Trail. That won't necessarily impact the district standings, but they will definitely get some playoff seeding in their classification. A victory over Bartram will put them at 9-0. They will not get a 10th game this season just because of the changes in schedule. So the Panthers doing us a favor over at Fleming Island. Right over the middle, that is intercepted.
Pass is intercepted.
Playing center field, and that is a pick.
Sebastian Vigilance.
Got some young players in there that I don't think I even have on the roster right now. My goodness, maybe a couple of JV players in there. That's a pick. Turns the ball over, and the clock running under 3.5 minutes. That was a well-defended center field play. And it looks like the Golden Eagles will have a chance to run out the clock. Come about the stroke of 9 o'clock here on the East Coast. A shortened game here due to the score. We appreciate you watching tonight from wherever you are in the world, watching on YouTube, or if you're watching from ssbjacks.com. If you're on our YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. Helps us out and helps us help you by providing some great broadcasts for you. Gentry comes in at quarterback. They'll try to run the outside run play. Watkins will scamper across to the 30-yard line. He'll pick up a couple of yards.
Near the 30-yard line.
Gets to about the 30-yard line, and that's where he'll stop. Clock will run no matter if he's in or out at this point, but from a situational perspective, you want to make sure you're getting your proper repetitions in, and in a lead like this, if there were a few more points on the board for Fort White, they'd be controlling the clock right now. So that's exactly what they're doing. It's just using this time.
Zion Longmire, 35, the running back.
Zion Longmire, I haven't called his name much this season. He's going to get a chance to get a run. He does so. Crosses the 30 to about the 32. A couple of extracurriculars there, but the officials just try to put a stop to that right now. And Zion will get a carry and run off. Good on you. Get a good rep in.
Timeout, Fort White.
Fort White has called a charge timeout with 1:48 to go. And
1:48 to go in the ball game.
I
Golden Eagles have it.
think if I were Fort White, I might not take a timeout at this point, but I can understand this is for the development of kids and get some situational football in. Also cool some tempers down here because there's been a couple of testy moments after the whistle.
There will be a special presentation.
And again, stay with us as we talk post-game, and we will also have a presentation, and we are told that would be the presentation of the district title trophy. I got to look at that on my way in to the stands this afternoon, and sitting out there nice and shiny, waiting to be hoisted. Fleming Island very excited about winning that district title in 5A3, and we talked about it at the beginning of the season, and I'm sure my partner David Wells would echo that if he were here, that this was a winnable district for Fleming Island. This was their season to win or lose, and they've done that tonight, completing the season on the winning side of it. They'll get a handoff there just over for about a yard.
Brady Digman, number 23.
Brady Digman, first time we've called him tonight.
That is their final.
Fort White will take their final timeout of the half. And again, just managing situations right now. most teams in maybe an upper division of football, like college or whatnot, they would have just gone ahead and conceded at this point. But for high school kids, this is very important for their development as a team, an athlete. So I could give a shout out to the Fort White staff for using their timeouts here just to manage the game and get some strong teaching moments in. Breeze is picked up here. It's been an otherwise gorgeous evening tonight at Fleming Island High School. We will be back here regardless for some basketball coming up in the next couple of weeks. You'll either get hoops on SSB or more Friday Night Lights on SSB, to be determined. Of course, the producer Courtney Wallace is very excited about that part. Keeps him busy. Gentry will get a snap. He'll quarterback run all the way, finds a hole, crosses the 20, and he might have scampered inside the 10-yard line there. Helmet's coming off yet again. Some big hits. Eric Gentry running for first down yardage. Clock continues to move, approaching the 120 mark.
Gentry carries it down to the 5-yard line.
Down to the 5-yard line. First and goal. Fleming Island content to just take their time here. No rush to get anything scored, although it looks like they might run a play and get in. Trying to see put the ball right on the correct hash mark. Looks like they're on that left far hash. Resetting the play clock just to get things situated here. Down to 45 seconds. And we got a stoppage of play.
Timeout, Fleming. That is their second.
Fleming Island will take a second charge timeout.
40 seconds to go.
40 seconds to go.
Timeout called by the Golden Eagles.
If you're a casual fan watching this, you're wondering, you're in a running clock, you got a 45-point lead, why are you taking timeouts on offense? And again, goes back to what I'm saying about development. This is situational awareness. This is a team that's going to the postseason. They've got more football to play, more to work on, and this is a teachable moment here to manage the game, get into the correct situations, get the play in you want, and execute appropriately. So I have no problem with this timeout given the circumstances. But Eagle Band 1 has got the party started. Fleming Island dance team getting ready to blow up. Cheerleaders are ready to do the same. Student section ready to celebrate. Oh my gosh, they've got Reese Radford on the top. I don't know if you saw that, Aaron, but they were giving some senior love there. A lot of fun with the seniors tonight here at Fleming Island. And they get in victory formation at this point. They just decide go ahead and take a kneel down, and that is going to be very likely the last snap of the 2024 regular season. Fleming Island will finish things off at 7-3, a district championship. They're going to call it right there, and we are done. Fleming Island is in the books. Final score from the Rock, 45-0. Fleming Island takes care of Fort White, gets into the playoff hunt. That Nice Beachside score is going to hold up, and we are going to have a discussion as to where they end up in the postseason.
Special presentation.
Let's take a quick commercial timeout. We'll get ready for some post-game festivities. You're watching Friday Night Lights on SSB, and we'll be back in just a minute.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
Having served Clay County for 18 years, Worldwide Automotive is bringing back the neighborhood repair facility with fair and honest pricing. It's why Worldwide Automotive's motto is car repair with care. Worldwide Automotive provides old-fashioned customer-centered service in an environment that is friendly and welcoming. Servicing domestic and European cars, Worldwide Automotive is offering $25 off to anyone who mentions this ad. And that's for any service. There's no need to go to the dealer for your 30, 60, 90, or 120-mile services. They offer same-day service and will handle your requirements for oil changes, belts, tire rotations, air conditioning, brake flushes, transmission services, and tune-ups. Come by and say hi to owners Joe and Valerie and see why they say their customers are family. Worldwide Automotive is located at 2490 County Road 220. For more information, go to worldwide-automotive.com.
Final score here at The Rock, Fleming Island 45, Fort White nothing. You're watching Friday Night Lights on SSB for the postgame show. And first off, I want to take a second to thank all of you for joining us tonight for our ball game. You know, it's been a pretty interesting season this year. We started under the name Florida Sports Broadcasting, and halfway through the season made a change. And that wasn't because of anything personal. It was just something that had to happen for us to forge on ahead. But without some of the vision of our good friend and broadcast brother Ray Canaveri, we're not here tonight. Ray moved out to Texas to follow another opportunity, and with that came the change in the business. So it's taken us a little bit to get our footing, but we're back and doing what we love to do best and highlighting broadcasts of live events in your community. So thanks for sticking with us as we've made the change and are forging ahead into this new era. And also want to thank our brother Ray Canaveri for all that he did for us, and our best to him and his sister Janet, who are mourning the loss of their father, who passed away not too long ago at the age of 90 years old. So our hearts are with you, Ray and Janet, and we appreciate everything you've done for us here, and we're forging ahead with your vision in mind, but in a new way. So we thank you for that. I also want to give some thanks to Ava Hendricks for coming up and joining us at halftime. She was an absolute blast, and having that conversation with her was something that I'll remember because she was hilarious, actually. So follow that on YouTube. We'll have a separated version of that so you can watch just that halftime interview of Ava Hendricks as they go into the postseason. And good luck to the cross-country team as they head into state series. The alma mater's been taken care of here, and there's going to be a special presentation right now. And I know this is something that AD Travis Cunningham has been absolutely dying to do right now, is to hoist this district trophy for a team that's struggled for the past couple of seasons. They've been through 3 head coaches in 3 seasons. They've had a starting quarterback who's played wire to wire through all of that. And now they're going to hoist some hardware. So let's go up there to the top camera there and award the district championship trophy for Class 5A District 3. Your champions and playoff bound Fleming Island Golden Eagles. And that's something that these kids have worked through, all sorts of adversity, changes at the head coaching position, but a lot of them have stuck it out and stayed true, wire to wire. Sebastian Broughton, a 4-year starter at quarterback. He's gone through a lot to become the player he is right now, and he is going to lead this team into a postseason berth. It's not the first time that Fleming Island had been in the postseason since we've been covering them. They slipped in as an 8 seed in the past, but this time we've got a group of kids that may make a run for the state title. Again, BP here with you for the postgame show. What a season it's been for Fleming Island, and what a season it's been for Class 5A District 3. My goodness, we've seen a lot of really good football across the district, and we're looking forward to more. The way things may pan out right now, 4 out of the 5 teams in the district may get a playoff berth. The Middleburg score is likely to hold up against North Marion, so they will win and likely get in as an 8 seed. Meanwhile, with Beachside losing out of district to Nice, that puts Fleming Island in the catbird seat. They may come and host in 2 weeks for the regional quarterfinals, so we still have a lot to see there as things shake loose. Ponte Vedra also in that mix too. They had a convincing win over IMG down there in Bradenton, and they're putting a number on Creekside tonight. If they win tonight, they may increase their stock as well. Again, Creekside outside of classification, so that's nothing that they have to worry about in standings, but their overall record may help where they end up in the regional tournament. So lots to discuss over the next week. David and I will be keeping an eye on the standings, the playoff brackets, and we will eventually announce where we are going to be heading. It's our hope that we will be here at Fleming Island for one playoff game at home. If not, we're going to check around the district, see who else makes it. There's plenty of exciting football out there that we could be streaming for you across our whole community. And, of course, Orange Park up the road on 16, beating up on Clay. I'm sure that's going to make their season feel really good. And, of course, we'll see the Raiders in the Raider Dome for basketball. So on behalf of our entire team here, it's been a great regular season. We hope not to be done yet. We'll keep you posted. In the meantime, stay tuned to ssbjacks.com and our social media to find out where we begin basketball season. And as we forge on ahead into the winter and spring, we're looking at baseball, softball, and some flag football as we get on to the 2025 portion of the academic year. Brian Paul, David Wells not here tonight. Get better, buddy. Caden Welton on the scoreboard, Courtney Wallace on production, Aaron and Garrett on the cameras for all of our SSB team. This has been Friday Night Lights on SSB, and we hope you have a wonderful night and happy fall, y'all. So long.
Having served Clay County for 18 years, Worldwide Automotive is bringing back the neighborhood repair facility with fair and honest pricing. It's why Worldwide Automotive's motto is car repair with care. Worldwide Automotive provides old-fashioned customer-centered service in an environment that is friendly and welcoming. Servicing domestic and European cars, Worldwide Automotive is offering $25 off to anyone who mentions this ad. And that's for any service. There's no need to go to the dealer for your 30, 60, 90, or 120-mile services. They offer same-day service and will handle your requirements for oil changes, belts, tire rotations, air conditioning, brake flushes, transmission services, and tune-ups. Come by and say hi to owners Joe and Valerie and see why they say their customers are family. Worldwide Automotive is located at 2490 County Road 220. For more information, go to worldwide-automotive.com.
Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.